right, everybody, welcome to the FlixPop Movie Club podcast. And I got to be honest, there's really no place else I'd rather be. I know I say that all the time, but today when I got up, it was a completely different matter. And today we're talking paranormal genre here on the Movie Club podcast, which is awesome. I have a couple great guests, but before we get into it, I feel like I need to make like an apology or like a mea culpa. First of all, Tony T behind the glass. Everybody say hi to Tony T.
Hi,
Nothing happens here in the studio unless Tony T presses the button, moves the lever, moves the slider, pulls the strings, whatever it is, doesn't happen without Tony T. And that's kind of what my mea culpa is about, because last week we had an unfortunate editing incident. I know we're trying to avoid this, Tony, but we got to get it.
It's been a long week. That's all I got to say.
We have to get it out in the open so that we can go on with the show in the proper light. So I just want to put it out there. During the editing, I made a very, very questionable decision. We were talking about the hot tub, right? The hot tub.
Yeah.
And I published a picture.
Well, let's back up a little.
All right, go ahead.
You called me. I was at work.
Yes.
And I was like, how's it? You were like, the show's coming along good, but it's 2.5 hours. First, I was like, oh, my God.
That's right.
2.5 hours.
So far, so good.
Then he said something about, you're going to laugh. I got a picture of you in a hot tub.
Yeah.
And my first question was, well, where the hell did you get it? Finish the story.
So I went onto social media and I talked to Homie. You know Homie. Homie's my virtual assistant. Tony knows Homie. Maybe later in the show we'll introduce you guys to my virtual assistant, right. Homie. And she provided me with a picture of Tony's head. And I put it on some other body that was like in a hot tub, and the person was shirtless.
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
And so I kind of like inadvertently, on purpose, I shared a topless picture of Tony T to the world. And so
that must have been interesting.
So we had beef all week, and we were going back and forth. So Tony, look, I'm sorry.
Paul, I got a lot of emails on that and a lot of DMs. I'm not happy.
Well, you know what? I didn't realize when I did it, and the thing is that I don't know if you guys know, but we have like millions of viewers and subscribers.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, how many views did it get?
There's like a million something, whatever, like maybe even a billion. I don't know. Like,
that's awesome.
As it's very popular hearing today, it's quite possibly the most watched podcast really in the history of all podcasts.
Yeah.
So
where's that, in Fantasyland?
Yeah, that's in between my ears. That's where it is. And so I inadvertently didn't realize the importance of exposing Tony's tatas to the world. Even though they're not his, they kind of appear.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It just showed up magically.
So I'm sure it's on the screen now somewhere, Paul. You showed it yet?
Yeah, it's
Go ahead,
go ahead. There it is, people. There's the picture again. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I have a record that Tony T asked me to show that again in this podcast, right? So we don't have. Are we good? Can we bury the hatchet here?
Yeah, we're okay, Paul.
All right, cool.
I'm good.
All right,
okay.
no problem. Good. I'm glad, because you know what? Me and Tony T, we got to be tight in order to do this podcast. So I want to introduce Lisa and I want to introduce Nicole. Okay, these two guys are from Full Moon Paranormal Investigations, and they're a couple of spooky girls.
Yes,
I love it. They were on the radio show this past Saturday. And as you guys know, the radio show, sometimes it's poo-poo, because you can't, in 1 hour, you can't break this shit down in a logical way. So we're going to do that today. We're going to talk about the tropes that are involved in the paranormal genre. We're going to talk about some of the quotes that you see. We're going to talk about, we're going to play yes, no, either or. And then we're going to come to a consensus top 5 in the genre. Does that sound good to you guys?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So we're going to play a little game first. It's called yes, no, either or. It kind of gives our audience and our listeners the chance to get to know you guys on a different level than just what your business card says. Mm-hmm. And what we didn't discuss during the radio show that we can discuss here is that what we're trying to do is, like, when people are out there and they have, like, just as an example, right, like a first date or something, they're trying to learn from that person some of the things about them without having to ask them, do you like scary movies, or without having to ask them, inane questions about stuff point blank, they might say something like, do you like you want to go see a movie, or you want to go see The Conjuring, or do you want to go see The Exorcist? And depending on what you say as an answer, it really tells a lot about you. So I want to kind of like extend this a little bit, do it for our audience. Before I do that, though, Tony T, could we just do an example so everybody kind of knows where we're on the same page?
Well, go ahead then, Paul. Come on.
All right, man. Here we go. We do this every time. You know it's coming. You know I'm going to try to embarrass you, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to give you some basic, straightforward questions, all right?
Go for it.
Okay. Netflix and chill, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No.
It wasn't for you, Lisa.
Oh, I thought,
No, this is for Tony T. This is
We're
for
doing a sample.
This
here.
is like so
But
people.
now you
like-
know more about Lisa.
Yeah, oh, really?
Why not?
Okay.
Netflix and chill.
Really?
Me? No.
Netflix and chill, huh?
I'm
Okay,
out.
all right.
I'm out, dude.
You're out on Netflix and chill?
Yeah. I don't like I'm not a Netflix fan, man. I just don't.
But you're a fan of the other part, though, yes?
Well, sure.
I don't think...
Nobody's watching Netflix.
Nicole,
Yeah.
do you think that he knows what we're saying? Do you think he knows what it is? I think it's a
think he
question.
knows.
Do you know what Netflix and chill is?
Of course.
You're just saying that, or you really know? You really don't, because you're saying you're not into Netflix. I gotta believe that there's something screwed up here, and maybe you don't know what we're talking about.
Come on, next one. Keep
All
it
right.
going.
He's
All
being
right.
a little cautious after the hot tub incident.
Gotcha. All right, listen, Slim Jims, okay, or beef jerky,
You got to go with the Slim Jim.
okay.
It's the all-American.
All right, cheese Danish or Svoyadel.
The Sviadel.
Sviadel.
Come on, say it right.
All right, man. All right, so you guys all get it? Everybody
Yes.
gets it?
Yes.
Okay, for the listeners at home, please play along with us as we do this. And girls in the studio, please place your trays in the upright position and prepare for impact. Okay. Nicole, The Conjuring or Insidious?
The Conjuring.
How about you, Lisa?
The Conjuring.
All right, so The Conjuring, I gave you a very chalky pick there, but I think both of them could pretty much be in a top five, on anybody's top
Yes.
five.
They're
And
both
here's
good.
another one that Tony told me before that he thought that he was scared to go in rooms that were dark for a while after it, Paranormal Activity or The Blair Witch Project. Lisa?
Oh, the Blair Witch Project for me.
Paranormal Activity.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah.
now we have our first disagreement. Let's hear from Nicole why.
The Blair Witch Project is just going to give you motion sickness. It looks like you gave a toddler a phone and they're FaceTiming you.
Yes. Okay, yeah, agreed. Yes. And what about...
Yeah, but the Blair Witch Project literally scared me. When I left the theater, I was scared I was never going in the woods again in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you go in the woods in the dark?
When's
Probably never.
All right. When's the
Probably
last
never.
time you went in the woods in the dark? Was it the last time you Netflixed and chilled
Probably
as
when
well?
I went camping.
When you went camping?
Yes,
Okay,
but
so
I was
there's
scared.
Yeah, and there's probably no Netflix when you camp, so
No.
that's pretty much just a chill situation.
The way Lisa camps, there's Netflix.
Yeah.
There is Netflix? What are you?
might be.
What are you camping like?
Yeah, we camp a little
You have
bit. Yeah.
Wi-Fi in the woods too? Like, what's up? That's not camping.
At the campground, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole. The Exorcist or Poltergeist?
The Exorcist.
Okay.
Exorcist.
Yeah, Tony. We have we all in agreement on this one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're Exorcist too.
Yeah, the head spun around, right?
That's
Yeah.
with that's with the green projectile vomit,
Pea
which is
soup.
one of the pea soup, one of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life. And then where the green ooze comes into the walls, and this is one of the tropes, which is haunted house, the Amityville Horror, or the haunting in Connecticut. Nicole,
The Haunting in Connecticut. Because we know people who worked on that case, so it's just more interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I do like the Amityville. That's one of my old-time favorites.
Now you say you worked with somebody who was on that case. When you say you worked with somebody, they worked on the case like as an investigator.
Yeah.
So do you guys have? Is it like a real competitive like thing when you're out there and you know how like in the movie Twister?
Yeah.
So you had the protagonist and the antagonist was the people who were also chasing storms, and they would like run into each other in the field, and then there would be acrimony, and there would be a tenuous relationship. Is that how it is with you guys when you run into like competitors in the field?
Not us. There is a lot of drama in the paranormal field, but we have a
Really?
very, very good group of people that we work with. Everybody works together. Everybody shares locations. We assist at each other's events.
Is there any group out there, Lisa, that when you see them, you're like, oh shit,
yeah.
it's the ABC Paranormals.
There is, but we're going to not talk about that.
We're not gonna.
Nope.
We're going to leave out names to
Like,
protect the
oh, no.
innocent. Is that
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Okay, no, I get it. You guys are classy. Yeah, that's it. You guys are classy
Stay out of the
paranormals.
comments.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, Lisa, Sinister or Hereditary?
Sinister.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Hereditary, though, was like downright creepy.
It was very.
It was very creepy.
Sinister, Hereditary for you, Nicole.
Sinister.
Okay, so we're good. So most of these things we agree on.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, Tony T, I didn't do these with AI.
You wrote this one yourself?
Yeah, well, that's my story.
I don't believe that.
And I'm sticking with it. All right, The Others or The Sixth Sense, Lisa.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
100%.
I see ghosts. I never saw that ending coming.
Yeah,
Same
I
for
agree.
you. Same for you.
Yep, that twist was legendary.
I see dead people, Paul.
Yes, you see dead people.
Not ghosts.
No, I know. Is that what I said? I quoted him wrong.
I'm just here to correct you.
I got you. Yeah, you're my straight guy. But listen, straight guy, Mama or The Autopsy of Jane Doe?
I gotta admit I haven't seen either of them.
Come on, man! You're supposed to play it in stride.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you could just make
I'm
it
not a
seem
liar.
good. What about you, The Mama or Autopsy of Jane Doe?
Mama, creepy kids and spirit ghosts trying to take care of. It's just
We were going to talk about the creepy kids
creepy.
trope, but that's definitely one of them. How about you, Lisa?
I'm going with Mama as well.
Okay, good. All right. So there's only really been one disagreement. How about this? 1408 or The Entry?
Oh, 1408.
Yeah, I think so too. Right?
Stephen King.
1408.
1408.
Yeah. Tone.
1408, 1409, whatever it takes.
Grave Encounters or The Taking of Deborah Logan?
Grave Encounters.
I'm going to go with Grave Encounters as well.
I think somebody didn't see The Taking of Deborah Logan. Did you guys see that?
Not.
Guilty.
All right, so you know what?
And it's a very long name.
It's like I read minds. The Innkeepers or White Noise, Lisa?
The Innkeepers.
How about Veronica or Session 9? Pass.
Veronica.
Okay, Veronica. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Nicole, Lake Mungo or Ghost Stories?
Ghost Stories.
The Woman in Black or The Orphanage?
Orphanage.
Orphanage.
Yeah.
Orphanages are some of the creepiest places we've investigated.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I think there's a lot of like emotion and, they were abused there. So it's just like all that leftover.
The residual energy.
Yeah.
Do kid spirits get stuck as a general rule more than adult spirits at the time of their demise?
Oh, we're getting right into it because there's a lot of differing opinions about whether spirits get stuck at all. Mm-hmm. But they do have a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it manifests. But, the thing is, I hear a lot about, like, kids. Mm-hmm. And I hear a lot, like, when we had a paranormal investigation with Rich Moschella at the Butler Museum, and they kept telling me that there was a kid, like, running around in the place, at night and playing ball. And they recommended to me that I leave something for him.
Yep.
It was a him. And so... I asked the question, is that something that's common where you see like kids, and is it a whole different feel?
I think it's a whole different feel. And for some reason, me and Nicole seem to attract more kid energy, I think, because we're moms.
Oh, okay.
So they gravitate towards us.
Yeah.
They feel like there's some comfort maybe there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. The Fog or Crimson Peak, Nicole?
Fog.
The fog.
The fog.
Okay, we all agree. Okay, so that would basically kind of boring because you guys agree basically on everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But that doesn't mean that you agree with the audience though out there and what they would have picked.
Right,
that's
so so the objective of having them get to know you is really great. I want to talk a little bit more about Full Moon Paranormal. You guys are from the Warwick, New York area. Which, let's be honest, it's kind of a weird area in and of itself, I think. Middletown is that where you're from?
I'm from Middletown.
You're from Middletown? Where are you from, Nicole?
Walden.
Walden, okay. So I have no, you said Walden, you might as well, you could have said
Yeah.
Mars. I don't.
It's all Orange County.
Orange County.
all in like 15 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
I love it up there, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony takes his
Nice.
boat up there.
No, I used to ride my bikes up that way. But
Yeah.
I'm on Greenwood Lake. That's not as far.
Yeah, it's one of our sponsors up there, the Greenwood Lake Marina. They're awesome. How was the drive here? I want to touch on that a little bit by you guys because even though they're paranormal experts, They're not really directions experts, apparently.
We needed a little extra time to prep.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and apparently we went to the wrong place.
and we ended up in some guy's driveway,
Right.
and he was looking at us out the window.
Did he call
holding,
the cops?
Holding a dog.
It was a baby.
What was a baby?
He was holding a creature in his arms.
Wait a second. You thought it was a
I thought it was a dog. I said,
and
why
you
is
think
this
it's a
man
you thought it
holding
was
a
a
dog?
baby?
It was a baby.
Oh, it was a baby.
It was a
and
baby.
Lisa thought it was a dog.
She goes, why is he holding his dog like that?
It was very long.
Were we?
I
You know,
don't know.
acid's not legal now.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
You know this.
It's like, why is he holding the dog and looking at us out the window?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It was funny.
Yeah.
At least you didn't come in with like 1,000 papers and throw them all over my floor like somebody else.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We have to go through this third episode in a row. Hey, you know what I was thinking though? You know, you guys with the driving and everything, you did get here.
Yes,
and
we
so
did.
I'm really happy like about that. And I feel like you know, this is not, it's hard to see, you know, because it's not like a house in the front. This is like a compound. That's kind of the best way to put it. We're in the Sausage Hut Studios in Ken Island, New Jersey. And it's really not a house. It's more of a compound.
Okay.
And so, you know, Tony T, he's got cameras all over the place. There's a whole control room on the inside there with all monitors monitoring every corner of this compound. So it's like really awesome.
Very cool.
And one day we're going to have you guys back and have you do an investigation here, because a lot of times, like Tony, he calls me at like
No,
two.
we do have a ghost.
No, well, he calls me at like 2:30 in the morning.
Actually, it's not a ghost. My cousin passed away recently, and he's been hanging around a while. We'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He may have something he wants to tell you.
My daughter is a practicing medium.
Oh.
Oh, very cool.
Cool.
We've been in contact pretty regular.
Wow, that's pretty
Just
awesome.
say
I
that.
didn't know all that stuff.
Yeah, Natalie
That's
works in a medium group, and
No, I didn't know about your uncle.
cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's here now.
There's good possibility because he liked to come up here and kind of goof on all my shows.
What was his name?
Joseph Barisi.
Joseph Barisi.
Joseph.
If you're here, if you give us some kind of sign, flick some lights.
Can you knock on the wall?
Hey,
Do we have the voice box? Do we have a
He'll
voice?
show up.
We have a
So we're
spirit box.
All right, we have a spirit box.
He'll show up in time.
He will, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you kind of get that feeling, then tell me.
My cousin's a real whack job, so he's kind of just lurking around right now.
No, but he might wanna have
He's
fun.
not going to say much until later.
Oh,
So this is a spirit box.
Okay.
What it does is it sweeps the radio station, kind of like if you were just scanning for a station, but it never stops.
okay.
And you'll hear voices come in kind of in between the static and in between the stations.
Just to F with us, he's not going to say anything yet. Actually,
It said Tony.
yeah, I heard Tony.
It said Tony.
Yeah.
That just
I
said
did hear
Tony.
It said Tony. We're not faking this.
That was
I didn't say you were. I just didn't never.
that was definitely him.
It never.
Paul.
No.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Do it again.
Paul.
I recognize his voice, honestly.
Oh my god. All right. So I don't even know if we're like if we have video here,
Tony again.
but that's crazy.
We're gonna have to put out some equipment and do a whole
We're
investigation.
gonna do some more of
We've
that.
been in contact,
Yeah.
but thank you for that.
So when you guys were talking about being lost, and then it's just reminded me because we had the conversation when we were on the radio about how we talked about you having a spirit or a presence or something follow you home. And I thought, like, because I shared my location with you guys so you could get here,
Right.
like, I'm curious to see if, like, you guys are going to follow me home.
Well, not if Lisa's navigating.
No, because you'll never
I'll
find
get
it, right?
lost,
You'll never
yeah.
find it.
We'll end up in the wrong town again.
So what is the favorite, what is it that draws you guys? Because I feel like I don't want to call this a hobby. That would be kind of belittling to it, I would think. Because I feel like there's a talent there. There's something in you that allows you to be open to being either contacted, exposed to, seen, shown, whatever. What is it about it that keeps you, keeps you doing it all, keeps you coming back for more and wanting to do it? Like, what's the fire of it?
Just like because we keep experiencing new things, like just so curious what's out there and how we're going to make contact with these spirits and every time we discover something new, it's very exciting.
And you get to know the history of a lot of really cool places. Just last night, we were scouting a location for a potential event, and it used to be an old monastery. It was a home for the mentally disabled.
No, man, those make the best places, don't
So
they?
creepy.
Ever been to Greystone?
No.
You ever want to go over there?
Yeah. I want to go anywhere. I say all the time, I'll investigate a dumpster if it's haunted. I don't care.
She will.
I don't know if they have raccoon spirits, Tony, but
They probably do.
Oh, they do.
I think there are animal spirits because I saw that in Pet Cemetery. They
definitely
were
are.
coming back to life. So, but so tell me as well, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the radio show. But what are some of the resistance maybe that you get from people? Like, do you have like the people who are like the negative Nellies that they just like cannot
Yeah.
accept?
They just don't believe in it. And, if you're very religious, a lot of people believe that you just go right to heaven. You don't stay here. And we're only talking to the devil or,
Yeah,
and they don't want to know anything about it.
And there's a bit of a stereotype, too.
Yeah.
When we pull up and we're relatively normal looking, people are surprised because they're expecting some crazy goths with weird color hair and pentagrams all over.
And one of those antennas on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
I want one of those hats. You guys should wear that when you show up. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wear the tinfoil hat.
I mean, look at with Ghostbusters, right? Look at how they showed up to gigs, right?
She has a Ghostbusters outfit.
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
The actual
I have a blow up proton pack.
No freaking way.
I do.
How cool, Tony T? She's got a blow up proton pack,
That is
bro.
serious.
That
And
is-
she wore it to a ghost hunt.
no,
I
get the
did.
hell
That's
out.
great.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, all right. We're gonna get back to you guys, but let's talk tropes.
Yes.
All right. So in any movie genre, there are tropes that are used, and a trope is something that you might use as a technique in a film, or it might be what the film is based on in terms of like the Sixth Sense, like at the end is the turn of events, right? That's one of the tropes, and they're tried and true. They really are things that get the viewer into it, and they also can tell the story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple for the paranormal genre, and we're going to try to kind of talk about some of the films that occupy that trope.
Okay.
And the first one,
The isolated setting.
so a remote or confined location amplifies tension, creating a sense of like claustrophobia, helplessness, craziness, and stuff like that. I'll start you guys off. The top movie, in my opinion, of the isolated setting has got to be The Shining. A family in a is snowed in a haunted hotel where isolation drives Jack Nicholson's character to absolute madness. What are some other movies that really kind of go along with this trope?
Oh, what is that movie called? Is it The Descent, where they're down in the cave?
Yeah, that would
Descent,
be one.
yeah,
I was going to say The Shining, but you
Yeah.
said that.
Right. There's one called The Lodge.
Right.
Where the children are like trapped with their soon-to-be stepmother in a snowed-in cabin with sinister vibes, but a pretty cheesy but pretty good movie. Lake Mungo, right, is another one. They're out in the lake and stuff. This is a really great genre because there's nothing more creepy than when you see somebody like in a log cabin, like Evil Dead. How about that one? That's another. I mean,
being
that's more
trapped is
being
is
trapped in a
horrifying.
place and being
Horrifying
right.
anyway.
Well, everybody knows that feeling when you're going down like a creepy back road and you have no signal and
Yeah.
like, oh, anything can happen and
Yeah.
nobody's coming to save me.
Right, and you realize it's like, hey, if everything stopped here, I'm pretty screwed. Mm-hmm. One thing at a time goes out: cell phone coverage, the lights, the electricity, all of the sounds and everything. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting like some kind of feeling just talking about it.
Forbidden rituals.
Gone wrong,
Yes.
right? Summoning's gone wrong. The Exorcist is a classic, right? I mean, they're doing a damn exorcist, so they're summoning. And it goes wrong. I mean, it really goes wrong, does it not? It goes,
It
it goes
definitely
terribly
goes wrong.
wrong, right? Veronica's another one that's in this trope. It's
The
a
Ouija board.
with the Ouija.
I was going to say Ouija.
Yeah.
What else?
Evil Dead kind of
Evil
like
Dead, yep.
is another one that
Tarot. That was another
tarot,
one.
right, with cards, right, reading the fortunes and everything. It's a great one. The other one, and this is kind of my favorite one, really, of the genre, is
The creepy kids trope.
And like The Shining, obviously, the two creepy kids
Yeah.
in the hotel, red room, and all the things. What do you got for us here, Tony T, on this one? Creepy kids.
Well, so what was the one with Macaulay Culkin or what he
Culkin?
Culkin when he threw
Home Alone?
when he killed.
I don't think that was a paranormal movie, Home Alone. Joe Pesci was the ghost, right? In that?
No.
Plot twist. The bandits were not alive. They were ghosts.
They were ghosts.
Wrong genre. Sorry.
Wrong genre.
Wrong week.
Yeah. But creepy kids. What are? How about The Ring?
Oh, The Ring.
The Ring.
Definitely.
Oh,
Girl was scary, man.
That
Dude.
freaked everybody out for so long, that movie.
It was the long ass, greasy, stringy hair.
Well, creepy kids in Hereditary. Both those kids were creepy.
Oh, Hereditary
they were.
too. Oh, God.
Especially the little girl.
Yeah. The Innocents. The governess believes the children in her care are being influenced by ghosts. That's insane. Anything else to add, Tony T, for this trope? Creepy kids?
No, man.
How about
Adam's Family.
There's a lot of creepy kids in that one.
there are some creepy kids and a creepy hand too?
How about Orphan?
Orphan is
She
pretty.
wasn't really a kid.
No,
That's
that's
not
right.
supernatural, but that is a
but
creepy kid.
She was a creepy kid. You're right.
So it's funny you bring that up. A lot of these films will they'll kind of travel between genres, but they'll also travel between tropes within genres. And Tony T and I, we've been doing this now for a while. When we get to these movies, usually the ones that do the best are the ones that touch the most.
right.
They're diverse in their tropes and their genres and stuff like that. And like The Shining goes through so many different tropes that, and that's really why that movie's so like highly rated. But how about this one?
Plot twist ending trope.
Final revelation or twist ending. And that's where The Sixth Sense comes in.
Yeah.
As a movie that's kind of like going over the lines, being outside the lines. What else we have in the final revelation or twist ending?
Hereditary.
Hereditary again,
Yeah.
yeah.
That one I was thinking of too, because you go through this whole movie, and for the longest time, I had no idea what was going on. And then the last maybe 15 minutes, you're like, oh, well, now it all makes sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's funny because you can't watch those movies unless you watch them to the end. I feel like if you're a director, not director, but if you're the writer of a film like that, you have to, it's a special art. Because if your movie sucks and it's only based on that twist ending and you don't
Right.
get people to the end, guess what? They don't ever realize the full value of what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
So
they're just like, that was a crap movie.
that
I
was-
didn't even
that-
finish it.
Yeah, that sucks. I fell asleep or whatever. So it's a risk, to me. The others are in there. Session 9, renovation crew member loses his grip on reality. Supernatural forces amplifying, his madness and whatever. Next one is
Spirits seeking justice.
spirits seeking justice. Okay, so a ghost lingers not really to harm anybody, but to reveal truths or find peace by exposing the past.
That's deep, man. Sixth Sense. Right?
Sixth Sense is one of them. See how Sixth Sense just keeps bleeding over into all
Yeah.
the different
Yep.
tropes. Another one is the devil's backbone for this trope. The ghost of a boy who haunts an orphanage. You guys talked about orphanage, hinting at a tragic betrayal. How about What Lies Beneath? That's another great one. What else we have for this particular trope?
Ghost.
Ghost, I was
Ghost.
going to say.
Yeah, that's
Now-
not really a horror movie,
You know-
but it is a supernatural movie.
It's a paranormal
I
movie.
agree.
Yes.
It's a paranormal
And he's
movie.
seeking justice.
And he is. He's trying to tell her who the
killer
who
is.
the killer is. And the scene that comes to my mind is when he's she's on one side of the door and Whoopi Goldberg's on the other side of the door, and Patrick Swayze's next to her, and he's telling Whoopi Goldberg what to tell Demi Moore so that she'll finally believe that he is there watching him. It's just a tremendous, tremendous movie, Ghost. Even though it's not a horror, kind of movie. What else is in this trope? Hereditary? No, not Hereditary. No. What Lies Beneath? The trope of like spirit seeking justice is like one of those where there's so many more films that utilize that than we're even like mentioning.
Well, even The Ring.
Yeah.
Like, she's seeking justice for what happened to
Right.
her. Yeah, she's harming people, but she also wants people to know what happened to her and her story.
Yeah, even though I say they don't mean any harm, they could.
Yeah.
And they can still be trying to send messages from beyond.
Psychic or medium connection.
A character can sense or communicate with the dead, often making them a target. Again,
the Sixth Sense.
Again, the Sixth Sense comes into
Yeah.
play, right? How many damn tropes? I mean, does it deal with every single trope in that film? I mean, I think it does.
He sees dead people.
He sees dead people. That's
Pretty
really
much.
You got the creepy kid in there.
Yep, absolutely. You got Insidious.
Yeah.
Spirit travels to another dimension.
I like that one.
Where the psychic's brought in to help. That's a pretty.
It's a tough one too, bro.
It's like.
Oh God,
I know.
I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight after this one, guys.
Well, The Shining too, because the little boy had the shine.
Yeah,
Yep.
The Shine.
Yep.
Yeah. So The Shining, that's a creepy ass movie.
Very.
And you know it's old. It's so old.
But it stands up.
It really does stand the test of time, and that's why you'd be hard pressed to find people who wouldn't put it in like their top 5.
The cursed object.
Ooh, like Annabelle.
Yeah.
You know what I
Annabelle.
mean? Annabelle's like the one that comes a demonic doll, causes chaos for a couple expecting a child. Sinister,
Yeah.
a found box of home movies leads to a writer discovering a pagan entity attached to a series of murders. And again, we see the common theme of these movies crossing lines between tropes. Like The Ring is in this one too, the cursed object.
Yep, 'cause the videotape.
Yeah, and then on top of all this comes to our next one, which all of these that I mentioned in the cursed object also had the found footage trope. So that's the next trope.
Found footage.
The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
That's like the most obvious one. But what are some other ones in that trope that are awesome?
Paranormal Activity freaked everybody out when it came out because they thought it was a
real.
true story.
Yes, a couple document strange happenings in their home, leading to horrifying discoveries. Such a cool freaking movie. I don't even want to really talk about it because it will give me nightmares. The Blair Witch Project is in there. Grave Encounters.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
ever see Grave Encounters? Great movie. Good on the found footage. What else we got for found footage?
I was just going to say about Paranormal Activity. I don't know what movie they're on at this point, but I really liked how they started to tell a story with the movies too. Instead of just another jump scare movie. They kind of weaved a storyline in between them.
A common trope that's used in like superhero movies is leaving the end open so that it leaves open the possibility of the franchise and other films on top to tell like more of the story, like Planet of the Apes and all these type of things, even though they're not like in that genre.
Wasn't Sinister found footage too?
Yeah.
He found the tapes.
Yep, absolutely. And there's so many found footage for it's number 3 really. I have them ranked. I'm heading towards number 1 here.
Spirit possession.
Oh.
So a character is overtaken by a spirit, demon, or malevolent force. I'm just going to throw The Exorcist out here. Young girl possessed by a demon, prompting a priest to perform a harrowing exorcism. What are some other ones on this one?
Oh,
So that's where Hereditary got me too, because it's a mother getting possessed and going after her own child.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just something unsettling about
There's
that.
something unmotherly about that.
and then we have The Omen.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Omen.
Oh, The Omen.
Yeah, can't forget The Omen.
Damien.
Tony T, you like Damien in The Omen? You like that character?
Dude, let me turn my mic on here, but yeah, that's scary shit, bro.
Dude, The Omen to me like is some really scary shit.
I had childhood nightmares with that one.
Yeah.
And Carrie.
Yeah. No doubt about it. How about The Taking of Deborah Logan? A woman suffering from Alzheimer's may actually be possessed by a demonic entity. The Last Exorcism.
Yeah, those would all be.
Yeah.
They're all in that.
Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah.
Possession, Emily Rose.
That one was creepy because it was based on a true story.
Well, even a lot of these are a lot of the exorcism and a lot of the possession tropes are based on a true story.
Yeah.
So and then that leads me to the number 1 trope really in the genre, which is, any guesses on this, Tony? Did you read the dossier or did you throw it out the window, stomp on it and piss on it? Okay, like you did last 2 episodes
Naked
ago.
in the shower getting hit with a towel trope?
No, that's a sports movie trope. Come on, dude.
Wrong show.
Wrong show.
You tell me then, Paul.
He's my
Come on.
straight guy.
Let me hear it.
Haunted house.
Haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
Haunted house. So a family or group moves into their dream home with a dark history, and there's a lingering spirit and lingering surprises. The Conjuring, obviously. Poltergeist, right? The Amityville Horror. What are some of the less the less like
So
heralded.
But can I tell you that when I bought my house, I brought my K2 meter in to check things out. I'm like, I'm not moving into a haunted house. I've seen too many movies.
Can somebody hire you guys? Say they're going to buy a house and they're like, hey, let me just make sure that this is not like possessed by like Richard Simmons double or something, or Richard Simmons ghost or something.
Yeah, well, come check it out.
You'll come check it out.
Yeah,
What's something like this cost to do that?
Private cases, we don't charge for it. We go to
What?
people's houses. We go to their businesses.
What?
If they're having activity, we're trying to help people.
Oh, wow. So how do we pay the bills?
we have jobs.
Yeah, we have real
We
jobs.
have real jobs.
Oh, so let's talk about that. Like, what do you guys do for? Like, I'm thinking you guys get up, you do ghost stuff all day
I
long.
wish.
It would be cool, right?
That-
Like, I wish I could do podcast stuff all day long.
Right.
I really wish I could. What do you do for a living?
I'm actually a bartender.
Get the hell out of here!
Yes.
Did you bring your bag of tricks with you to
I
the
did not.
podcast?
I did not.
Oh, that's rookie, Lisa. That's rookie right there. Because we like to drink. Tony and I. Tony T. He likes the alcohol, man.
I play in bars.
He plays in bars,
Oh.
so
Yeah, but I only have I'm a Jack and Coke guy, and
All right, you're easy.
and I do too because I am on stage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
2 drinks.
Yeah, 2 drink minimum. What's your favorite drink to make? And do you have a specialty drink that you make?
Probably an espresso martini.
Really? And what bar? And what place do you work at?
I work at Cosmos
Which is where?
in Middletown, New York.
Middletown. Okay, Cosmos in Middletown, New York. You got to go there. You got to see Lisa.
Yes, come see me behind the bar.
And she'll probably, if you have an aura and she's talking to you weird, maybe that's why.
Yes.
She sees something about you. What's your job, Nicole? What do you do?
I work in a pharmacy.
Get
I
out
didn't
of-
bring my bag of tricks with me either.
Oh, I can think of a few things
We
I
could've had
could
a
use
good
from the
time,
pharmacy. Maybe get my insulin filled or something, Tony T. What do you need from the pharmacy? Anything?
I'm off the farmies, man.
You're off the pharmacy?
Actually, these days it's like Aleve and Advil, right?
Yeah, and a little 420 in there.
Well, I don't go to the pharmacy for that.
Yeah, no. Well, they do have pharmacies for that now.
Yeah, they
by the
do.
way.
I know.
And it's like every other block there's one.
Yep.
And that's crazy too. Like, not to go off on like tangent or wherever, because our show is 420 friendly. And I have to say, I was a visionary because I was like smoking 30 years before this shit was legal. Right.
Yep, yep.
And Tony and I, just some brief history, we went to school together. We were in daycare together. I've known Tony T since
Wow.
I'm 3 years old, 3 years, 2 months,
Yep.
and 5 days old. That's when I met him
It's crazy.
And I'm still helping him.
in the daycare. He was like, hey, come here. You want some cookies? Like, he was even helping me then. What's the favorite part about your job? Is there a
The
favorite
people
part?
I work with.
Yeah.
The people I work with definitely make the day bearable when people are being assholes and yelling at
Yeah.
us and we're
Yeah.
laughing and joking.
Gotcha. Now, it's hard to, you're around the drugs.
Yep.
It's got to be kind of, you don't have that personality, right? You're not that type of person.
No.
Okay. Because I couldn't work in the pharmacy,
Yeah.
You'd find me under the table sleeping from taking all the sleeping pills, and I'd probably take all the oxy. I'd have a problem with oxys, probably, Tony, right? In like a couple days.
I mean, the way you're slurring your words, there's something going on over there.
Well, I had a couple gummies before the show. Is that a crime? I mean, is that a crime? Like
If you ever read the side effects, you wouldn't want to touch them.
No, I know. Oh, the side effects of gummies.
No,
No.
of all the pharmaceuticals.
of the oxys. I
Yeah.
kid. I'm not. I don't. Yeah, I can't. I got enough problems of my own. We had Damon Manx on. He's an author, and he got addicted, and you can see his story in episode 2 of the Movie Club podcast. He actually robbed a convenience store to kind of fund his habit.
People get desperate.
He ended up with a 10-year rip
Wow.
in prison.
Wow.
But he turned his life around and was in there. You got to watch that episode. It's a really great episode. But I feel like somebody like him or somebody like me, you put us in a bar. I think it's interesting though that you two guys have those jobs where,
Yeah.
you could wander off the reservation a little bit.
You
Yes.
would.
We could.
All right. I'm going to get back to you guys in a little bit, but let's forge on here with movies. In this particular genre, there are a lot of quotes that are memorable for that movies are famous for. And what I find in this genre is that a lot of the quotes that you see are pretty much like they're short for some reason, more the memorable ones. And I don't know why that is. I don't pretend to know why that is, but it is the case. So I'm going to give you a couple, and see if you guys know them, and see how good you do. And past guests have been really good, so good in fact that I've had to give them a purposeful wrong question just to throw them off. We don't want you to get 100% here, but here's the first one's for you, Lisa. They're here.
Oh, Poltergeist.
Duh, I gave you like the $200 question on Jeopardy.
Yes,
there,
that was
right?
easy.
All right. This is like the $400 question, but could be the $200 question for Nicole. I see dead people.
The Sixth Sense.
There you go. Right. Okay. So this is one you may get or you may not get, but fans of the genre will probably get this. The power of Christ compels you.
The Exorcist.
I'm throwing you guys softballs here. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Oh,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare.
All right, and
Nightmare
this one's for Tony. He didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, "I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in."
That wasn't Freddy Krueger?
No, it was not.
Who said that? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
I have no clue.
You have no crew.
No clue.
Are you Asian all of a sudden?
Everybody's slurring their words today.
What? You took the gummies too?
3 of them.
Can we give him a hint? There's another famous
Yeah, go ahead.
line
Go
from
ahead.
that movie.
Go ahead, Lisa. Give him the hint.
Here's Johnny.
Here's a funny story about that.
He almost spit his water out, choked on it.
Paul was quoting The Shining the other day in one of these podcasts, and he said, like, here's Jack, or here's Paulie.
No, I said, I'm home.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
The Shining. It's The Shining.
It's The Shining.
All right.
I'm home.
People are definitely interested in the paranormal.
I was watching Rambo 3 before I came out.
Did you really? Rambo 3?
It was on, right?
Oh, my God.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I bet you I know what happens.
Again.
Yeah, wrong. Why are you mixing genres? You're confusing our listeners and our guests. Come on, man. All right. What kind of quotes do you guys have?
I'm going to think of 50 movie quotes on the way home. You know that, right?
Yeah. And I'll be getting texts. I'll be like, Nicole, where was this during the show?
And I gave it the one that I already knew, which was Here's Johnny. So
yes. 2 words.
All work and no play
Yeah.
make Johnny a dull boy.
Oh,
That's
a great
true.
one. That's a great one. We could probably do Shining quotes like all day long.
Yep.
So you have them in you.
Yeah.
You have them in you, but
Yeah.
when somebody puts you on the spot, it's like when you say I'm a singer. Sing me a song. You're like, duh. You can't think of it or whatever. Tony, any quotes from you for paranormal films genre?
Welcome home.
E.T. Go home. I think he's mixing genres again.
Yes.
Is he not? You could go supernatural though, right on aliens.
Supernatural,
Supernatural
paranormal.
/ paranormal.
Yeah.
If you're cutting hairs, I guess you can always make a case for it. So, all right. So tell me about the last investigation that you guys did. What was the deal with it? Where was it? How did it go?
They just did it here, man. They had my cousin on the line.
Yeah. Well, we're after
Right?
We're going to spend a couple more minutes on that right now after I get this from them. I just want to, here's the thing. Everybody out there thinks it's incredibly sexy. Okay. To be a paranormal investigator.
it is.
It is not.
Everybody, they watch you guys, right? And they want to live vicariously through you. They want to be you, in your skin. So I want to give our listeners, some vicarious experience through you guys that you did in the last investigation that you did. And Lisa's she's like, oh God, I don't want to talk. Did something happen bad?
No, it was good.
Well, someone got so scared they had to leave.
Yeah.
No way.
That did happen.
Was it somebody who they own? Give us so we understand how this stuff normally works.
Yeah, so we were doing an event. It was a public event at Silvio's last Friday.
Okay.
That's why we're tired on the radio in the morning.
Right. Okay.
But we had people bought tickets. They came in. They had dinner. They listened to a gallery reading from a psychic medium, and then we split up into group for an investigation. We had a couple different stations, and in one station we were playing the Phasma box, and the spirits' voices were coming through, and then the lights were flickering on and off. And one girl got so scared that she had to leave. She had to go sit out in the hallway. She said, I can't be in here.
Damn. What is now, does that happen often where you have like the subject or the person who asked you, like they freak out or something while they're there?
Not to that degree where they have to leave the room. It only happened one other time at the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie where I had to take somebody out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So is there a danger to this? Like, when's the last time you guys were doing some type of investigation and actually felt like unsafe?
I was a little unsettled after we went to Mizir in Wappingers, and that we spoke to a very angry man in the attic, and it kind of followed us home because the next day I wake up, I go into the bathroom in the morning, and I hear the TV blasting. I'm ready to yell at my kids. I walk into my bedroom. My TV is on, full volume, remote sitting in the middle of the bed.
Wow.
And then Lisa had the same experience or similar experience.
And when I got home, my purse got thrown off my kitchen table and my phone. And then it happened again the next day.
Ay, ay, ay.
And then it stopped. Mm-hmm. But I just stated, whoever's here, like, you're not allowed in my house. Get out, Sometimes you have to be clear with them.
You got any ghost stories?
No. Just my cousin, man. He's been hanging around for a while.
But that's a good spirit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna talk to him just a sec. I personally, my belief is that there are, I don't know how to refer to them, spirits, ghosts, whatever, but I do believe in that. And I've actually been, believe it or not, I've been assaulted.
Wow.
Before. In Pequannock, I lived in a house when I was a kid, and the house was haunted. I had my hair pulled at one time. And they found me.
That was me, Paul.
They found me. Yeah, I know. Well, listen, you were at daycare, I thought, at that time. But it was a Saturday. I was laying on the couch. I had a mullet. I mean, it was the 80s. And I got my hair pulled and slammed on the end table that was there. And when they found me, I was running shirtless and shoeless about 5 blocks away.
Wow.
When they found me, still running. I couldn't
crazy.
believe what happened. And then, I was a lot of different things happened, not to bore you guys with the details, but I was playing softball. Guy moved into the town. He told me that he just moved there. I asked him where. It turns out he was living in my old house. I said,
What are the odds of that?
I don't know. But I said to him, I used to live there. His face turned white. He pulled me off to the side. He goes, what the hell happened in that bathroom? He goes, I've been touched. He goes, it's definitely bad in there. What happened, And that's when I was like, hey, it's like I got, because you think to yourself, am I just making this up in my own mind?
Yep.
Is this how people think when they see these type of things, or especially somebody who's skeptical to begin with?
Yeah, they think they're going crazy or something. But when somebody validates it for you, then you're like, wow. That really happened.
Right. Now, that's really the case, right? And that's what they're looking for, right? When they hire,
Yes.
I don't say hire, but they want somebody to
Validation.
empathize with them about it and to give them information to let them know this is not a malignant force or malevolent force. This is somebody who's stuck or whatever the case may be. So
They just want some peace of mind that, whatever's there, why it's happening, who it is, they're not going to hurt them. Mm-hmm. They just want to feel safe in their home.
Just with their mind, feel things, see things. To what degree do you guys possess these type of skills?
They tell me I'm a medium, but I don't feel I'm a medium. I'm more of an empath.
Okay.
So I'm sensing energies in a space.
Okay.
And sometimes, though, names will pop in my head or faces, or I will see things, but it's not like a true medium that can just read a room.
Right. And I know, Nicole, you're not at all pretty much.
Not at
You're
all.
more instrumentation, reading things and whatever. So tell us then, in your limited, medium abilities, like what does this place feel like to you, like as we sit here in this room?
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
It felt a little weird.
Yeah.
It feels a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't, not like bad weird, but I did feel like something was here when we pulled in.
Yeah.
When you pulled in, that's when you felt it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm being honest.
Right.
Oh, no, there's some history in this house before us,
Okay.
too.
I mean, and I keep wanting to look this way, but I don't know what is out there.
I can show you.
So when
Turn the light on.
So and for the listeners, like, this is really why we do it. Like, we're trying to give them something interesting here that happens with what you guys do. And when I think about, say spirits or, a presence, or you just said you keep wanting to look to your left.
Yeah.
My feeling on it is that there are people, souls, whatever you want to say, that you cannot see. Mm-hmm. And they're all around us, and they're trying their very best to tell us things, to say things to us and whatever. Right. And I get this like visual in my mind, like I might have like Joe right here, like screaming in my ear, Mm-hmm. What can people, like, even like talking to other mediums, what is it, do you think, like, what is that space like in terms of how crowded, in terms of, how much, like, are they jockeying? Is it like,
oh yeah, I feel like everybody's trying to talk at one time.
Right. Like this is the garbled like mess of like all the different, because there's more people dead than there are alive.
But I don't think time and space works the same on the other side. So I don't think, we're standing in a room full of 500 people who have come before us right now, all smushed together, sitting on each other's laps.
Right. I just get like a picture in my mind of like a crowded room, and only like 2 or 3 people in the room are of the living, and the rest nobody can see, but they're all there in their various states of whatever decay, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you're talking about aliens or you're talking about ghosts, I feel like the human mind, we're not able to fully even wrap our mind around how it would manifest itself, How do you think it would manifest itself?
What, the spirits?
Yeah, like, like if you were actually, so as an example, if a spaceship came, it beamed down, and the aliens beamed you up into their ship, right? Are they amoebas? Are they human-like? Are they, are they this shape, that shape? We probably can't even imagine what they are, right? Mm-hmm. And it's probably the same way, I feel like, but like a spirit.
Well, I think spirits will make you feel them through energy. So you might feel sad all of a sudden, or you might feel really happy, or you might...
Like a projecting.
Yes.
Like a projection.
Yes.
Okay.
Or they might want to show themselves to you, and maybe I can see them, but you can't.
Right.
I don't know.
They also manifest in all kinds of different ways, like as shadow figures, as like a mist, full-bodied apparition. Lisa saw half of a person one time.
Wow. I did.
What about leaving things around, or like you said, your purse was spilled? Was it you said that, Lisa? Things are knocked over, like this kind of stuff.
I think they're just trying to get our attention.
Really?
They do that stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. So how can people tell our audience how they can get in touch with you? Maybe they wake up in the morning and, their toes are being pulled by something. They don't know what it is. Where do they call? How do they get you guys over there?
So we're on most social media sites. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Full Moon Paranormal. You can find us on there. You can send us an email, fullmoonparanormal@yahoo.com.
Okay. And
tell us what's going on, and we'll see if we can help you out.
Awesome. Okay. So please do that, people. These guys are great. They know what they're doing. They're established. They've been doing this for like the longest time. They have it in their blood. These are not people who are, they do one thing and they're just trying to like, no, this is like, if you could do this full time, like this is what you would do.
I probably would do it full time.
Well,
I would 100% do it.
It's what you're passionate about, right? So, I think that's who you want to come over and do your investigation. You don't want like the lady who's like fortune telling and she's like just full of shit or whatever, right. Like you just want honesty, you know what I mean? And that's what you get with these guys. So let's talk a little bit about our top 5. This is kind of where we come down the home stretch here. I want to kind of give our audience, in case they haven't seen any of these movies, some recommendations, some ideas on what to do. I'm going to give you a top 5. I'm going to give you my picks, and then I'm going to ask the girls for their picks, and then at the end we'll get Tony T involved and see if we can't come to a consensus number 1 through 5.
Number 5.
My number 5 is Insidious. A young boy falls into an unexplained coma. His parents discover he's become a vessel for spirits from a dark realm called the Further. And as paranormal investigators step in, the family must confront terrifying entities and secrets from the past. This is a James Wan film, and the jump scares are aplenty, and the atmosphere is a modern supernatural classic. That's my number 5, Insidious 2010.
It's so hard to rank them, but I think I'd go with Poltergeist as number 5.
Okay. Now, to me, Poltergeist is number 4, so we're going to...
Number 4.
1982. A suburban family's peaceful life shattered when their home becomes the site of a malevolent haunting. Iconic moments like a child being sucked into a television. How cool was that? Poltergeist blends emotional storytelling with supernatural terror. And it really is one of the genre's most influential films, I feel. When you think about a paranormal movie, you think about Poltergeist.
Yeah.
My number 4, 1982, Poltergeist. Lisa,
And if you want to go in, do a deep dive on the curse of Poltergeist.
Okay.
Because crazy things happen to everybody who was involved in that movie, who worked on that set, which makes it even creepier.
It's one of those things, Tony T, where people start, they were having like bizarre gardening accidents and dying from them and stuff like that.
I remember hearing that.
That's crazy stuff. Okay, so Lisa, you're number 4.
I'm going to go with Amityville
Oh, okay.
for number 4.
Green ooze coming out of the black
Yeah.
ooze in the toilets, and the family just being completely terrified. And
They were like petrified in their own home.
Yeah.
The
And
original or the new one?
The original.
So my favorite thing, and that's where even before I say it, my neck hairs are standing up. Get out.
Yep.
When your house tells you, Tony, they're like, get out.
Yeah, it was time to go.
Yep.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
You get your
Yep.
you get the zombie bag. Remember we talked about the zombie bag a few episodes back?
Pack it up and go.
Pack it up and go.
Oh, catch 'em and kill 'em.
Catch 'em and kill 'em.
That's. See, now I'm coming up with movie quotes.
And Get Out. That was the
Yep.
next one, yeah.
All right. What is so that's your number 4 is Amityville.
Number 3.
So number 3, I'm going with The Sixth Sense, 1999. A young boy reveals to a child psychologist that he can see and communicate with the dead. And as the story unfolds, secrets come to light that change everything. M. Night Shyamalan, breakout hit. It's both chilling and emotionally resonant. Its twist ending is one of the most famous in cinema history. Absolutely. And it hits every single trope that's in the genre, right? I mean, it's legendary. This is a legendary movie. God bless his soul. Who's the Bruce Willis with his struggles that he's going through today, and to see him now and then to see him in these movies. I mean, this guy, he was a complete badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what is your guy's number 3?
I'm going to go with The Sixth Sense.
Yeah? We agree on that?
Yeah, I do.
You have something different?
I'd go with Haunting in Connecticut.
Haunting in Connecticut. See, I feel that's kind of underrated a little bit.
It is.
It's a good movie.
But it's just the fact that they can happen to anybody. It's not like they were doing anything creepy. It's not like they were trying to conjure anything. They just moved into a house.
Do you know anything about, either of you guys, you know anything about when you're a realtor and somebody's looking at a house, does it have to be disclosed that there's been paranormal activity in that particular house?
It does not.
Really? So there's no law.
I looked into it.
Okay.
Now, I know
states are different.
Now, if there was like a murder or something like that that happened, they have to disclose that. But what if there's paranormal activity? I would want to know that.
There is one house in New York that I know that is legally declared haunted.
Yes.
Wow. And I wonder, I'm going to do a little deep dive on it because it's going to haunt me. Is what's involved in that? Well, how do you get that classification? To be designated a haunted house. Who is the person that checks that box
That's
for
true.
you? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Is it the coroner who comes by? Oh, he's dead, and that happened from a ghost. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd want to know. Wouldn't you want to know?
I would want to know who makes that decision.
See,
yes.
now this is where you guys have the advantage over everybody else.
Right.
Okay, because you can just walk in the house and probably feel something, or you can do things. You have instrumentation. You can measure it. Where us normal folks are walking around like clueless, and we're waiting until our socks get pulled off in the middle of the night by Tony T, as the haunt, or his cousin
He's
Joe,
the sock puller.
He's the sock puller, serial sock puller.
I watched The Bagman last night. You ever see that one, dude?
No.
It was pretty scary.
The Bag Man?
Yeah.
What's the bag?
Well, it was the guy that haunts your dreams as a kid.
Oh, dude. See,
shoves you in the bag.
See, dream movies, man, they're the worst.
Yeah.
Because
there's nothing you can do about it.
No. and you sometimes have this like sense of dread in your dream that you just can't shake, and it's like, and then when you wake up, it like, you ever have that dream that just stays with you, and that dread in the morning like stays with you like into your day, 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're finally like shaking it off or whatever.
Or when you dream your husband cheats on you, then you're mad at him all day.
No way.
You have
I
that
haven't
one?
had that one.
You haven't had that one?
You have that one, Nicole?
Oh, that's definitely a common dream.
Does he ask like, did I like it or anything like that? He says that's an interesting theory, but did I like it?
No, he does not.
Who did I cheat on you with? Does he tell you these things?
No.
How did you even know that? You dreamed that he did. Oh,
No,
okay.
I've heard people say that, but I have not personally had that dream.
Or whatever. It's like, I'm mad at you for something you did in my dream.
That's
Yes.
right.
Because it just stays
What
with
about
you.
the falling dream? Right.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going to talk dreams.
Well, they say that if you are falling and you actually hit the ground, you actually die.
Well, they say also that when you dream you're falling, you're actually astral projecting, and that's you coming back into your body.
Okay.
Whoa, that's interesting.
That's deep.
That is deep, right?
Yep.
Holy shit.
And,
That's
and
crazy.
Sleep paralysis is a real.
Oh, my God.
you know,
yeah.
you're sleeping and you're trying to wake up and you're just laying
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you
Now-
see the sleep paralysis demons.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that, but,
oh, my God.
but that's happened to me.
That's scary shit.
Trying to wake
Yep.
up and you can't.
Yeah.
What, like, I've never had that happen. Obviously, never been in a sleep paralysis
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Not fun.
But what about like some of these, like what they call lucid dreams? So I would think that if you're a paranormal person, that you would that there's a door in your mind that's open, that maybe other people, that door is not open for them. What about that?
You can teach yourself how to do it.
But in a lucid dream, right? Do you guys have lucid dreams?
Not super often, but I
So
have.
they say, part of being in a lucid dream is like, if you're in a lucid dream and you suspect that you're in a lucid dream, they say that you should pick something in the dream that you can focus in on, like a clock, right?
Okay.
And if like the clock is reading like 9999 or like something like that, dream. If it's reading like right and you still feel like you're in that sleep, then you can actually control your dream. It's like an additional, level of like lucid dreaming. You guys believe this stuff?
Yep.
I believe in it, but I haven't done that.
I have. It's crazy. It's wild to like be able to control your dream, but still be in that dream state.
Yes. Now, did you do anything unquestionable that your husband would be mad at you for in the morning?
No, you know what I did? The first time I was lucid dreaming and I realized that I was lucid dreaming, I totally wasted it because I did that thing where you like snap and change your clothes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. You did that.
That's what I did.
Oh, and you ruined it.
And I'm
and
like,
then you were like,
I wasted
shit.
it.
You were like, shit, I was
could have
there.
done anything.
You could have done anything.
And I went,
You could have
New
like,
outfit.
you could have taken a ride on flying pigs.
Yeah.
You could have like, well, Tony T, what would you do? What would you do if you could do anything in your dream?
Well, I don't know, man, but you wake up soaking wet, man.
Oh no! How? It's because it depends on.
He's just having a good time by himself over there.
He really is. Listen, this show would be nothing without Tony T. Let's just say that. But
No, the dream world is pretty hairy.
okay,
though, man.
but Tony T, don't avoid the question. Okay, here's the question.
Go ahead.
You're in a dream.
Okay.
Now you realize, hey, I'm in a lucid dream.
Oh man, I have trouble waking myself up sometimes.
Okay, so now you're in the lucid dream. What do you do?
You fucking run, man.
No, you don't want to run, but like, what is it that you want to do that
Like a
you
good
would
lucid
do?
dream.
Like, because you could do anything. Now you realize that's like being in the
I mean,
bank.
come on, who doesn't want to fly?
Listen,
man?
it's like being in the bank vault
You're gonna fly or
Yep.
and realizing
run real fast, right? Like
Nobody's around.
Like the $6 million man, just run.
be like streaking down the street, whatever.
do that now.
So was it this show? Was it Mickens we were talking about the streaking with? And if
old school,
if
yeah.
you streak by yourself, that's probably really creepy. You have to streak like with others. Is like really like that means you're kind of normal. But listen, we're digressing. What would you do?
If I
Okay,
was lucid dreaming?
if you were lucid dreaming and you realized you were lucid dreaming, what would you do? What would be your go-to?
I don't even know what I would
This
do.
is a great question, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I would like to fly, like he said.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the
Just
question
be
is,
able to fly anywhere I want.
but where though?
I don't know,
Just
when I want
fly,
to be
man.
invisible.
Just
so I
fly.
can
Just
spy on
be
people.
floating through the, because that's always the thing. Like, you want to be invisible, or do you want to, or do you want to be able to fly? Like,
Fly.
pick between the two,
I
or
want to do
whatever.
both.
You want to fly invisibly.
Yes, exactly.
If it was tonight and you went home and you're lucid dreaming, where are you going? What's the first thing you're doing in your lucid dream?
I'm flying. I'm
Everybody's
flying over
flying?
like castles.
You guys are boring.
No, I want to go to like the castles.
I'm like,
and,
that would be
I'm
nice.
like, oh man, I don't know. I'm like robbing banks. I'm like going to the. I'm like trying to figure out the secrets of the world, like what happened with OJ and like all those things. I want to find those out. That's what I would go do.
I'm changing my answer.
I would hang with different people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm breaking into the Vatican.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm going to go with her.
Yeah. And you want to talk to the Pope and what happened with this recent illness, right?
No, I want to
tunnels.
see the tunnels.
We're going in the tunnel.
I want to get in the Vatican archives.
See, it figures you guys, you'd want to do some kind of paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
Supposedly they have some crazy stuff down there.
Well, listen, we don't want to talk about the Catholic church, right? Stuff
No.
going on over there.
They don't like what we do anyway.
Leave them and the Freemasons out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the Freemasons.
Well, funny story. When I went to a baptism, I was telling the priest what I do, this stuff here, and he went and literally emptied his water bottle out, filled it up with the baptismal water, and said, "You need this way more than anybody."
What?
Yeah.
That
I was
just-
like, "Great, I got holy water now."
Oh, that's so cool. that you-
It was funny, but he was. He goes, "You need this
So
way
what
more
did you
than
do
me."
with it? What did you do?
I have it.
You still hold it?
It's
Dude, they're paranormal
Plus-
investigators.
Have you ever break it out for any situation?
we used it for a house cleansing once,
Okay.
but otherwise I have it.
Just kind of throws it on me when I start acting up.
Yeah.
If some vampire, appears to you, you could always
Yes,
like douse him with the
exactly.
holy water and
Yeah.
stuff. That's really cool. Like to have your own holy water. I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's
Go in the
pretty
fridge. You come home. Do you have kids?
I have a son. He's 27.
Oh, so does he live home?
No.
Oh, you never know these days, but like
Yeah.
say your kid's like whatever, like 18, you come home and like you go in the fridge, because
Chug
there's
your
a
holy
vampire.
water.
No, there's a vampire. You need it. You know what I mean? You go in there, it's not there because somebody drank it.
Oh, my holy water. No, my holy water. I
Your
keep in
holy
my room.
water.
no.
Oh, you don't refrigerate that?
Room temperature
doesn't
holy
it,
water.
Doesn't it mold? Does it
It's
get moldy?
probably going to, but I didn't know what else to do.
All right, folks out there, if you're listening to this, I'd like to know what happens to holy water when you leave it at room temperature for too long. All right, so I'll get back to you guys on that. But listen, we have completely wandered off the reservation
We
here.
have.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we're on number 2. Okay,
Okay.
we agree pretty much on number 3. At least Lisa and I do. Nicole, she's on somewhere else with the Connecticut house on number 3.
Number 2.
The Conjuring, 2013, based on a real-life cases of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Conjuring tells the terrifying tale of a family tormented by a dark force in their Rhode Island farmhouse home.
Rough one, man. That was a rough one.
Dude, hard to get through. Another James Wan masterpiece here. It really kind of reignited like mainstream interest really in like supernatural horror and launched really just one of the most massive franchises in movie history, The Conjuring. I mean, there's so many of them. What is your number 2?
The Exorcist.
Really? Mm-hmm. And Nicole?
I agree with The Conjuring, actually.
Really? Okay, so we're on this. Okay, so I feel Tony T like we're gonna have an easy time with this. My number 1, the number 1 in my book, paranormal horror film of all time is 1973's The Exorcist.
Yeah, it's a rough one, man.
Well, so like whenever you talk about genres of film, the movie that you could make an argument that really defined the genre, that's Exorcist.
Yes.
The genre could be to me could be named the Exorcist genre. And things that happened in it are so memorable, and so many movies that have come after it have imitated it, and that trope of the haunted house, right?
Yep.
And everything. To me, I don't know how you argue that it's not the number 1, but make an argument why it's not the number 1, Nicole.
See, it's my number 1, so I can't argue, but I will say it does hit all the tropes because it hits the creepy kid.
Yeah, it does.
It hits the haunted house.
Yes.
It hits the possession.
Yes.
Checks all the boxes.
Yeah. What say you?
Well, I was torn between The Exorcist and The Shining.
What's your number one?
The Shining.
Gotcha. Which is not even in Nicole or Mai's even top five, but go ahead.
But I just love that movie.
No, the movie's great.
It's a good movie.
And Jack Nicholson was unbelievable in that movie. And
Yes.
it has the creepy kid and it has the supernatural.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She just passed recently. I
yeah,
think.
just recently. Yeah, unbelievable.
But I was torn on that one. It was hard.
Well, I feel like you could go either way. To me, The Shining, I just wanted to. I didn't want to like completely fill the list with like the chalk. You know what the chalk is, like the favorite. Like I feel like you're totally right. Like the Shining. I can't give it the number one in my mind because The Exorcist is always going to kind of like edge it out. Seeing Blair go through that, the look of that, the body horror, trope in that film is crazy. Like what the body looks like and like the sound of the voice and like it really find me a bigger villain. Tony T, this is where you weigh in.
I got to put Carrie up there, man.
Carrie?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Were you thinking Carrie as a paranormal?
We debated this actually, whether or not
Yeah.
Carrie was a paranormal.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's part of it, whether the movie can be considered a paranormal.
Yeah, I think
Because Carrie's a great movie,
Yeah,
a great movie,
that's where I am.
and remade too.
I think she was like doing telekinesis.
Yeah, the psychokinesis
so
thing.
would be paranormal then in the genre.
But from your guys' perspective, so you guys went with the older kind of classics, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are the later films that just had, like Paul said, so many different versions and extensions of it. Right?
Yeah, like The Conjuring,
Right.
Paranormal
Part 5.
Activity.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. They hold up, man.
Well, a lot. So I noticed that none of us put Paranormal Activity in our top five. And I feel like that's
Great movie.
Yeah, but that's just
Movies.
that's a tribute to how competitive that this genre is. There's just so many great movies in it that if you leave The Shining out, you can make an argument why it shouldn't be there, and that's crazy. It's crazy that you can make, but no, and I'm not saying it doesn't belong there.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just saying you can make the argument, and so to me, Tony T, like I like Carrie, and I feel like it's a great movie, but I don't feel like it's a top 5 movie, nor do I feel like it's the number 1 movie of the genre. To me, it's really the top 3 that we're considering here, which are the 3 that have come up the most, really. The Sixth Sense, The Conjuring, and The Exorcist really are and the Amityville Horror, those 4. Those 4 are the ones that have kept coming up. Out of those 4, Tony, who do you give your support for best in genre?
That's a tough one, man. I mean, Amityville was up there for me.
The Amityville Horror has to be in the top 5,
and I think it's the true fashion of it, right?
And it's the haunted,
good old house haunting.
It's
right?
the haunted house classic. It's the paranormal, lottery, pot of gold, if you will.
Right.
Do you know what's crazy about that? The Amityville Horror too, is that the couple or the family that moved into that house now has no activity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nothing.
Wow. And how long have they lived there?
It's been a while.
Well,
like long enough that they're like, wow, nothing. Did they move there? Did they do any kind of piece on that about the people who moved in that live there now?
Not on the new people, but the kids from the Lutz family, they said that they lied about everything. He actually wrote a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So basically, it's contested as to whether it was even occurred.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of controversy.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, the movie's still great.
It is.
And I can still see the window of that in the front of that house.
They changed the windows too.
Yeah,
they changed the windows.
Well, something about those windows, those octagonal shaped windows, had something to do with the welcoming of. Right, I mean that's like I don't know if you want to say the wives' tale of it or the myth of it or whatever, but supposedly they're welcoming of spirit.
And they changed them though because so many people were coming by the house.
Right,
they knew it was the Amityville house by the windows.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agreed. Yeah, and that's because a very specific thing to the house, and I would also think that if you lived there now, you would want to tell people that there's no activity, so that you can put an end to this nonsense where people are coming to your house and they want to see it and all that kind of stuff.
I still wouldn't live there.
No, you wouldn't
Knowing
live there?
what,
No.
knowing what happened there.
I wouldn't even visit there
I'd
for
visit.
coffee.
I would visit.
I'd visit.
You guys are crazy.
I'd spend a night or two.
Would you go to? You'd spend the night there?
Yeah.
You're insane.
No, we've-
Nicole, you're crazy. Tony
Hey,
T, you
I'm
staying
out.
a night at the
I'm out.
Amityville?
No way.
How about you, Lisa? You stay there at night?
I'm staying there, and I'm staying at the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh my
Unless
god!
you get growled at.
So I would think you'd have to be that way about it to do what you guys do.
Yeah.
Because if you every time something weird happened, every time you heard "get out" and you ran, you wouldn't be very good paranormal
You know,
investigators.
how many times they tell us, get out, get the fuck out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get out. We don't want you
All
here
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been told that quite a few times.
Well, you know what?
Leave.
You'll never be told that here.
Oh, thank you.
Because you guys are eminently welcome here, right, Tony T? These
Indeed.
guys are great, bro.
Yeah,
They're
indeed.
great. But you know what we still haven't done? We
What?
still haven't figured out and come to a best in genre consensus. Okay, so, all right, let's go around the room one more time. Okay, and I'm gonna be. In the past, like the other day, I had airplane, right? I had it as my 2. I was convinced, okay, to change it. And we went with not my number 1, but somebody else's number 1. So I'm going to go around the room. Even though my number 1 is The Exorcist, Lisa's number 2 is number 2 is The Exorcist. What do you think for number 1?
Exorcist.
Gun to your head, Exorcist. You
Exorcist.
change your vote.
I would concede to The Shining being number 2.
Really? Okay. So what about so then we kind of have consensus. We don't really need Tony T's input here because we really kind of outnumber him 3-1. So if you disagree, you agree. We're going with Exorcist as number 1.
I agree.
The best
Yeah.
in genre movie club podcast paranormal film is officially 1973 The Exorcist, the gold standard of paranormal horror. A young girl possessed by a powerful demon, prompting her desperate mother to enlist the help of 2 priests for an exorcism. How freaking cool is that? Yeah. Groundbreaking effects in this film, iconic performances, an enduring sense of dread. You know what? That's the best way to put this, is it not? It's like an enduring sense of dread.
Yep.
And that sucks. That's like the worst feeling. I'm sorry. Like, you could be in pain, you could be sad, but dread?
Oh.
It's the not knowing.
It's the not knowing. You know
There
what I
was
mean?
like a lot of paranoia after that movie. After people saw it,
Yeah.
it was
You hear a noise in the kitchen, you're like, oh my God. And you start looking for mold, or whatever. The number 2 we have as The Sixth Sense. Is that we went with, or did we go with something else?
we're gonna go with The Shining.
The Shining?
Yeah, The Shining.
Okay.
I conceded number 2, The
that
Shining.
wasn't even really in our
It wasn't.
top 5.
Lisa made a good case,
But Lisa
though.
made a very good case, so I'm gonna take that. Number 1 is The Exorcist. Number 2 is The Shining. So we do agree, though, 3 can be The Sixth Sense.
I was bumping Conjuring down to 3.
Yeah,
So Conjuring or Sixth Sense for 3 and 4.
The Conjuring, right?
Yeah.
Conjuring.
You got to give the nod to The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
then,
it's scary.
so then number 4 would be The Sixth Sense,
Yeah.
and then 5. Do we agree that Poltergeist is our
Yes.
5th?
Poltergeist.
So Poltergeist 5, Sixth Sense 4, The Conjuring
Three.
3, 2 is The Shining, and then number 1 best in genre film is The Exorcist. All right, so we
Yeah.
got some work done
Yeah.
here today.
I could go with that.
We went off on some tangents,
We did.
but we got
Well,
there.
You guys have been great guests. This is really cool. The Movie Club podcast is really Tony and I's baby. It's really just meant to expand on the radio show. So I appreciate you guys being on the radio show. I didn't know you before all this. You came to me via a cancellation.
Yep.
I call it now in the annals of the Movie Club podcast is the happy accident.
Oh, thanks.
Because like you weren't supposed to know, you guys weren't supposed to have
Yeah.
you on the show, and Rich Mozella, he canceled. Jerk off. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a jerk off. He's a great guy.
Well, the spirits were calling him out.
Yeah.
His kid got stuck. His kid got sick or something,
Yeah.
and then the spirit Joe called him out right here in the room, said his name, Michelle, because evidently he's getting a reputation among the ghosts in the ghost world.
Yes, he is.
He does.
They're all like, "Is that Michelle here?" Like, oh, because like that's what to me. It's like the ghosts all know They're like, okay, today paranormal investigation's happening at this part of the world at this time, right? So
Yeah.
they all like rush there because they want to like get there and say things to you, right?
Well, he's a spirit artist, so they were probably like, I wanted to get my picture drawn today.
No doubt about it. Because Richard Moschella, Tony T, I don't know if you know this, he draws the spirits.
Wow.
He does.
So they want to get their picture drawn, or they want to, and they probably the first question they want to know when they pull up on a paranormal investigation on their magic carpet, or their whatever it is that they travel,
It's energy, Paul. Energy.
Is Michelle here?
They actually always ask for Lisa.
They ask for Lisa.
They ask for
Does
Lisa, yeah.
does that make you jealous that that Lisa's like kind of more down with that? They're more down with Lisa than they are with you.
It doesn't, because she can see them and I can't.
Okay, that's a gift, man.
I think we've heard your name once or twice, though.
We've heard it a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question I have here is, you ever been hit on?
By the ghost?
You hit by the ghost?
Oh, no.
No, never.
Oh, she pissed a ghost off one time.
Yes,
Really?
I
because
did.
How do you piss a ghost off? Like, what could you possibly say to somebody who's already
well,
dead?
I dress like a man.
He said you dress like a man?
No,
Oh.
no, I did dress like a man because we were doing a Victorian Christmas,
Right.
like the Ghost of Christmas Past or something.
Right.
And everybody was in Victorian garb, but there was no men. So I dressed like a man. I put on a top hat and like
You
a
repped
long-
us, man. You were, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the spirit was pissed because apparently I looked like his old boyfriend.
What?
He tried to hit on her. She turns around. He's like, nope, that's a woman.
Yeah, and then he was
Wow.
angry. He was angry.
Why? Because he was like into dudes. This ghost.
Yeah, and other spirits were mad because ladies do not wear pants; they wear dresses. And why are you dressed?
Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk Lisa.
About the time I dressed like a man?
No.
So I'm thinking of the scene in Ghost when
Right.
when she finally came out as a medium and the room was full of all these people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's insane.
Great scene.
We've gotten yelled at for hiking our dresses up
Yeah.
to go upstairs.
So, if
But
you,
I got touched. That was the day I got touched.
where'd you get touched?
Was it
Like-
a good touch or a bad touch?
No, it was just like a touch on my back.
Oh, on your
but it-
shoulder or something
Yeah.
like that or whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
We just outed Victor.
yeah.
On a
name was
podcast.
Victor.
So what
Sorry,
outed him?
Victor.
Outed him how? He
Well, there was a medium there, and she said Victor was in love with a man, but for the times he couldn't act on that love.
understood.
And when he saw me, I guess I looked like Victor.
Oh, that's
His
great.
Victor's man, and he was very upset, and I was making him upset, and she asked me like, take my hat off or whatever.
Understood.
So I did
Got you.
because I don't want to disrespect the spirit.
You guys may know the answer to this. You may not know the answer. Maybe just conjecture. When somebody passes away, I always get this like sense that, I don't want to do things. Like say in July, my father passed away, and
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. Not for that reason, but he passed away, and for the next couple days, I was like, I don't know if I want to be doing this particular thing. Because you don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, but I have to like say,
Yep. Lisa doesn't get it yet.
you might get it when you watch it, like,
Okay.
and I'm not saying that that's like what I would want to do, but just like, I think I remember something about that and being like, I don't know, like, can somebody who's newly passed, do they see all the things that you are?
I think they can, but I don't think they care at that point.
Right.
Like, they got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, because like I think that's one of what makes me think of that is your guy Victor, and you out him as a paranormal homosexual.
Well, let me
And-
get this right. You whacking off in front of a ghost?
I don't know. I think I lost somewhere in the show.
Is that where you're going here?
We're asking if you think
Yeah,
spirits,
kinda.
watch you during
doesn't-
private time.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I
Yeah,
got
like
you.
if you just want to, whatever. Not that I do that. I'm just asking, like,
Well,
do they see this?
We were trying to talk to spirits. Like we were using any method of communication we could.
Right.
Because we were doing an event. Mm-hmm. So.
I
Gotcha.
think they could, but I think they, like I said, they have bigger things to worry about. And also, like, you kind of retain your personality after you pass. If you're an asshole when you're alive, you're an asshole when you're dead.
Oh,
So if, your father wouldn't walk in on you living, I don't think he would after he passed either.
I like how you put that living. That's how
Yeah.
you put it. That's
Yeah.
good. Living. Very tasteful way
Yeah.
to put it.
I don't think he would walk in on you.
Right.
Ooh,
In
you
the
lost me on
afterlife
that one,
either.
Paul.
Well, no. So say this guy,
You lost me.
say this guy Victor, right? Say he's alive,
Okay.
and one of his relatives, say his wife passes away, but he's been a closeted homosexual for whatever his whole life. Say, and then she's dead, and then he's doing his thing.
What's she going to do about it?
But I mean,
It's energy, Paul.
I guess it's just energy.
It's energy
but
and,
these are the questions of the universe. They're questions of life, and not just about whatever. No specific thing I'm talking about that you're doing, but just things you
Whatever you're
do
doing.
that you wouldn't do in front of
Yeah.
my new friend Nicole. What do the people see? Did they see it for the
Like,
first
are they
time?
watching you in the shower?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Did I clean the navel out of my out of the lint out of my navel? Whatever.
I
Belly
mean-
button.
Some spirits do go into the bathroom and bother people while they're showering.
No, that's my rule for the ghost in my house.
No, but I mean it happens. Because
Stay out
if
of the
they were
bathroom.
like a pervy kind of guy in life, they could still be doing that in death.
Wow.
That's
So
why
that's that.
yeah.
See, now that right there,
What is it?
that's the weird thing about this whole thing is.
Is that a ghost?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Lisa
my
dropping her phone.
It's okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
No worries. They know we got phones. But that's what I always not worry. I don't really worry about because what are you going to do about it? What are you
Yeah.
going to do? We're going to die.
Just
we're
tell
all,
them,
we're
say,
all
like,
going to
hey.
die.
I need some space right now.
Yeah.
Put a sock on the door.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Put the paranormal do not disturb
Yeah.
out there. Kind
Yep.
of thing for them.
Really has gone off the rails.
Tony's got
No
no comment. Yeah, well, leave it to me. This is my job to make everybody uncomfortable with everything. But listen, it's been so much fun doing this. I wish I could do it until a couple more hours, but I found out that doing a 2.5 hour podcast is not really recommended, Tony.
No.
Because I can't upload this thing. It's a monster. What we did with the classic comedy genre.
Way
It's
too long.
2 hours and 30 minutes long.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what they call long form.
Long
Yeah.
form. Although the social media algorithms supposedly are rewarding more like long form, like you said, long form content and videos and stuff
long
like that.
form.
But that right there, that's like Ron Jeremy long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like so long. That's like Pinocchio's nose long. Okay?
Wow, that's long.
That's long.
Yeah.
Like you guys are supposed to say. How long was it, Paul? No, I mean 2.5 hours long. This thing was, and I can't put video. I can't upload it. I can't work with it. It's just it's fucked.
My
A complete
podcast
mess.
is 2 hours twice a week.
Really,
I know about long.
really. Do you edit the podcast?
No, it
Give a
just goes
shout
up
out.
live.
How do we see your podcast?
Alienate UK.
Alienate UK.
ALIEN, the number 8 UK. It's on YouTube. It's on
Okay.
Spotify and everything. But we do we're live
Wow.
Wednesdays and Fridays at 3:30.
Oh, so you're doing like on the YouTube channel, doing like a live podcast. Okay,
And her partner's in the UK.
Oh, gotcha. How did you run into this cat?
I was a guest on his show actually, and then he was looking for a co-host, and I never left.
Wow, she got discovered.
That's great.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on YouTube.
Yeah,
Listen, yeah, it's great.
lot of good stuff going on YouTube.
Yes, a lot of good stuff
We
going
have-
on YouTube.
We have a good thing on YouTube there.
Promote it. Come on.
Which is what?
Yeah, you go ahead.
You say we have a good thing, and then you point at me like I'm supposed to know what you're talking about.
With our video that we just filmed.
Oh, we got asked to film to help Hudson Matter film a paranormal investigation of Mid-Orange Correctional Facility.
Oh,
That's up on YouTube.
is the correctional facility empty or is it?
Yeah.
So it's vacant.
Yep, it was abandoned. It was a boys' school. It was a correctional facility. It closed in the 90s.
I think so.
Those places have got to be the coolest places to do
Yeah.
investigations. Places that have closed and like old hospitals, right?
Yes.
And like
And it's all creepy, and the paint's peeling off the walls. It gives a vibe. Even
Yeah.
if it wasn't haunted, it's a vibe.
a
But
lot of times, those
you know,
places look like they just ended, and like the whatever papers were there just.
That's
how it is. They
fell to
left
the floor,
everything.
just like the papers that you threw the other day in our show.
Yeah.
They went like that and stuff.
That was good film.
It was good film. Yes, it was. All right, guys. The FlixPop Radio Movie Club podcast is brought to you by nobody. Full Moon Paranormal. We don't have sponsors on this show because fuck the sponsors. We don't make money here. This is not a money-making enterprise.
There's no money.
Tony and I are poor. Anyway, this has been the radio podcast. I appreciate everybody checking in. Follow Full Moon Paranormal. Look up all their social media. Look at their video online. Go to their YouTube channel. Watch their podcast, and hire them to do an investigation at some place in your life. If you want to be on the show, you can email me, paulcbastante@gmail.com. You can also visit flixpopradio.com for our rebroadcast of the shows, and you can also check out our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. For Tony T, say goodbye, Tony T.
Well, you've gotten so good since you discovered AI. I have to just throw that in real quick. But yeah,
we were almost out.
Good show.
Now I got to say about the AI. So this show was not written by AI. Which the last show is
bullshit.
Listen, AI hasn't taught me how to lie yet. So I'm not really excited about it yet. But all right, peace out, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right,
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
You got it.